What if I told you that the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, has been secretly fascinated with bands that would leave the toughest metalheads absolutely stunned? "I've got to be truthful with you," Ozzy once admitted. "There's a lot of bitterness on both sides, but he's one of the greatest of all time. We're talking about musical crushes so strong they've triggered industry feuds, backstage drama, and collaborations that nearly tore friendships apart. You want to do it again? You'd better," Ozzy once joked. It was a lot of fun. Seriously, a lot of fun. From playful fantasies about members of the Beatles marrying into his family, to arguments with metal purists over his love of punk rock, Ozzy's taste in music has been stirring controversy for decades. There was the life-changing moment he ran into a future Led Zeppelin frontman in a Birmingham subway. The secret songwriting sessions with Lemmy that produced some of his biggest hits, and the night he praised a band so unexpected that metal fans thought he had lost his mind. "How any of us survived that Mötley Crüe tour, God only knows," Ozzy once laughed. "We must have titanium livers." But here's the truth about the Prince of Darkness. His musical passions run far deeper than anyone imagined. These aren't just casual influences. These are the bands that shaped his voice, his songwriting, and his entire approach to music. Some of his favorites will shock you. Others will make perfect sense. All of them reveal the complex musical mind of the madman himself. Today we're counting down Ozzy's 6 favorite bands, and trust me, number 1 will absolutely blow your mind. 6. Green Day. Yes, you heard that correctly. Green Day lands at number 6. When this revelation surfaced, the metal community practically exploded. Imagine it. The godfather of heavy metal, the man who helped create one of rock's darkest genres, openly declaring his love for a California pop-punk trio. The backlash was immediate and vicious. When Ozzy included Green Day in his list of 5 favorite hard rock bands, metal purists accused him of selling out. Online forums lit up with fans claiming betrayal, wondering if the Prince of Darkness had abandoned the movement he helped build. But insiders say Ozzy's fascination runs deeper than a casual nod. People close to the Osbourne family reveal that he admired Green Day's ability to keep punk's rebellious spirit alive while achieving massive commercial success. The energy, the attitude, the middle finger to authority, it all reminded him of Black Sabbath's early days, when they were just 4 working-class kids from Birmingham trying to make noise. Some journalists even speculated that Ozzy's love for Green Day's catchy accessibility influenced his own later career choices, nudging him toward more radio-friendly material. Whether or not that's true, one thing is certain. Ozzy's unexpected Green Day obsession proved he never stopped surprising people. 5. Nirvana. The year was 1991. And 2 musical worlds were about to collide in the most unlikely way. While many metal fans dismissed grunge as a passing fad, Ozzy Osbourne quietly became fascinated by a Seattle trio that would redefine rock forever, Nirvana. According to drummer Dave Grohl, Ozzy actually crossed paths with Kurt Cobain at Devonshire Studios in the San Fernando Valley. The Prince of Darkness doesn't remember the meeting, but Grohl recalls being completely starstruck, whispering expletives to Kurt as Ozzy walked in. At first, Ozzy reportedly viewed grunge as a threat to metal's dominance, but something about Nirvana's raw intensity captured him. The pain in Cobain's voice, the unfiltered anger, the complete rejection of rock star pretension, it all reminded Ozzy of what Black Sabbath had been doing decades earlier. Tragically, the 2 men barely connected before Cobain's death in 1994. Some music historians still wonder how a collaboration between them might have changed the course of both grunge and metal. Instead, we're left with tantalizing what-ifs and Dave Grohl's vivid memory of a brief but unforgettable encounter. 4. Motorhead. Behind the scenes of rock history lies one of the most explosive creative partnerships ever. Ozzy Osbourne and Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead. Their friendship produced some of Ozzy's biggest hits of the 1990s, but it began in chaos. In 1991, during the troubled recording sessions for No More Tears, Ozzy was frustrated by the lack of strong material. Enter Lemmy, the whiskey-soaked wordsmith many dismissed as just another wild metal madman. What happened next shocked everyone in the studio. Lemmy didn't just contribute, he transformed the album. He co-wrote Mama, I'm Coming Home, I Don't Want to Change the World, Desire, and the immortal Hellraiser, which Motorhead later recorded themselves, creating the rare situation of two artists scoring hits with the same song. Tensions reportedly rose when Ozzy's team wanted to downplay Lemmy's involvement, fearing it would overshadow Ozzy's own songwriting credit. But the two men chose friendship over politics. Their mutual respect culminated in 1992 when Ozzy appeared on Motorhead's March or Die album, delivering a haunting duet on I Ain't No Nice Guy alongside Slash. It was proof that sometimes the unlikeliest partnerships create the most explosive results. 3. Judas Priest. This is where things get truly dramatic. Imagine Rob Halford, the metal god himself, almost replacing Ozzy Osbourne not once, but twice in the last 30 years. The first close call came during one of Black Sabbath's legendary internal meltdowns, when relationships were at their absolute worst. Industry insiders whisper about secret meetings where Halford was seriously considered as Ozzy's replacement. The second opportunity arose years later during another Sabbath crisis, proving it was more than idle speculation. Despite the tension, Ozzy's admiration for Halford never wavered. He once gushed, "He can still hit the expletive notes," which is mind-blowing to me, calling Halford one of my favorite expletive singers. The rivalry between Sabbath and Judas Priest reached a peak in the late 70s, with each band trying to outdo the other in the studio. Ozzy reportedly pushed his own vocals to extremes in an effort to match Halford's incredible range. Yet beneath the competitive fire was deep respect and shared struggles with fame, addiction, and the pressures of taking heavy metal into the mainstream. When Judas Priest were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022, Ozzy's heartfelt video tribute to Halford wasn't just a formality. It was a love letter to a friend who could have stolen his legacy, but instead forged his own. 2. Led Zeppelin. The most pivotal encounter in heavy metal history may have happened in a grimy Birmingham subway. Picture a young Ozzy Osbourne walking through the underground tunnels with Black Sabbath bassist Geezer Butler when they bumped into Robert Plant. Plant casually mentioned he had been asked to join a new group called the New Yardbirds, a band that would soon become Led Zeppelin. That offhand conversation planted a seed in Ozzy's mind. When Zeppelin's debut album arrived, it hit him like a freight train. Industry veterans say, hearing Led Zeppelin, "I was the exact moment Black Sabbath realized they needed to be heavier, darker, and more dangerous than anyone else." Ozzy later admitted that the first two Zeppelin albums had such a profound effect on his voice and his life that they permanently altered his artistic DNA. Some historians even believe Ozzy was initially intimidated by Plant's soaring vocal range and commanding stage presence, a fear that pushed him toward the darker, more theatrical style that would define his career. 1. The Beatles. Prepare yourself for the biggest surprise of all. The man who bit the head off a bat, the godfather of heavy metal, is completely and utterly obsessed with the Beatles. This isn't just casual fandom, it borders on obsession. Ozzy once confessed that as a young man, he fantasized about Paul McCartney marrying his sister, imagining how wonderful it would be to have a Beatle as a brother-in-law. When Rolling Stone asked Ozzy for his 10 favorite songs of all time in 2004, half the list was Beatles tracks. He chose Hey Jude, calling it hands down one of the greatest songs ever written, along with Yesterday and A Day in the Life, which, he said, transported him back to a magical time in his life. This revelation shows a softer, more vulnerable side of the Prince of Darkness, proof that beneath the heavy riffs and dark imagery beats the heart of a lifelong Beatles fanatic.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.